All right, now moving on here, there was a University of Kansas professor who sat in front of a recorded classroom session and said that Trump voters should be lined up and mass murdered. But then he goes, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I think we should cut that one from the recording. Now, this man, let's see, Professor Phil Lowcock, not sure that applies here. Professor Phil Lowcock, the director of international student athlete support, who works at the university's sport and exercise science department. And this article says, a professor of the University of Kansas, let's go ahead and watch the clip first, because let's just give our own context around it here. But let's go ahead and watch this clip. Here we go.
Guys are smarter than girls. You got some serious problems. That's what frustrates me.
Let's see, not getting any volume here. All right, here we go. And here is the clip.
That's what frustrates me. There are going to be some males in our society that will refuse to vote for a potential female president because they don't think females are smart enough to be president. We could line all those guys up and shoot them. They clearly don't understand the way the world works. Did I say that? Scratch that from the recording. I don't want the deans hearing that I said that.
Now, his point there was there's going to be certain men. Only men are going to not vote for Kamala Harris, which, again, is an insult to the intelligence of women. Also, more so than what you're saying about men voting for women. The men aren't going to vote for women because they think they're dumb. No, maybe we think Kamala Harris is incompetent. If you throw Tulsi Gabbard up there, I would have been highly interested. I think she should have been the running mate of Trump. I think Kamala is incompetent. I think Kamala is unintelligent. I don't think Kamala is well equipped to take office. But for this man, a professor, the people who are educating your children, you are paying money, a university, this isn't even a community college with some stupid professor. This man was chosen. He may very well have tenure, right? Maybe not, now that we see what the result of this is. But how unbelievable. This is something that if you would have looked back, and this should be historically looked back on, as the same way that we look back on some of the biggest atrocities ever and how they unfolded, right? This professor in a university is on recording saying Trump supporters should be lined up and shot. That's where we've gotten to. And this is supposed to be the tolerant left, right? This is supposed to be the party of tolerance. And we've seen that they're exactly the opposite of that, right? We've seen that they are the ones who are calling for violence. They are the ones who are slinging insults. They are the ones who are going in front of our children and claiming that you should shoot people based on their political ideology. That is not what our country is founded on. I love people who are Republicans. I love people who are Democrats. I love people who are libertarians, who are everything in between. None of them should have violence inflicted upon them because of their political leanings. And what you have to understand about people's political leanings is very often than not, and I did a whole episode on this, on like the predeterminants of your political voting. There's a lot of factors that go into your vote that come from where you come from. The state you were born in, the parents you were born to, your socioeconomic status, your job, your education level. There's so many predeterminants of this to just say, oh, all those people are bad people and they should be murdered. That sounds like something out of Nazi Germany. All that class over there should be lined up and murdered. Mass murder, genocide for political ideology. That's what this professor wants. Now, he has since been put on leave. It says after the video was uploaded on X, let's see if there's after the video was uploaded on X, formerly Twitter, there was a fury with calls for Professor Lowcock to be fired and resign. Some users even wanted to see criminal charges be filed. I mean, it's literal incitement of violence. You're not allowed to say that you should do this to that. Like, yeah, you want to talk about speech that is maybe not imminent violence, but like, it's pretty damn close. Maybe he shouldn't go to jail for it, but he should definitely be fired. And he shouldn't be representing a school and educating children. He needs to be fired immediately. It was bad enough he said it, but then he tried to cover it up, one user said. Let's see what else we got here. Somebody else says, what the hell is wrong with people? He should not be allowed to teach and should be investigated. This is one of the many reasons why colleges have become a scam and a money grab. Yep. The University of Kansas released a statement after the backlash and announced that the professor had been placed on administrative leave. Let's go ahead and read their statement here. It says, a statement from the university regarding a classroom video. Here is the University of Kansas's response. And they said, the university is aware of a classroom video in which an instructor made an inappropriate reference to violence. The instructor is being placed on administrative leave pending further investigation. The instructor offers his sincerest apologies and deeply regrets the situation. So they're probably not going to fire him. His intent was to emphasize his advocacy for women's rights and equality, and he recognizes he did a very poor job of doing so. The university has an established process for situations like this, and will follow that process. Let's go ahead and see what the actual response to this was, because that's a crazy statement to then back him up and saying, oh, he cares about women's rights. That's why he said you should line up and shoot an entire group of people. Oh, and they eliminated people from making comments. How hilarious. Of course they did, because they don't want free speech. So that is wild. That is crazy. And that's what we're paying tens of thousands of dollars for your children to be taught by people like that. And then for the university to go and defend him. Oh, we're going to place him on administrative leave. Don't worry about it. But all he was trying to do is defend women's rights. No, all he was trying to do is say an entire half of the country should have a genocide committed against them for their political ideology.